Hey, this is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore, and as I often say, look, in this fight for your health, you are all alone in this fight, but we can all be alone in this together. And this is one of these areas. I just ran across an article, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below, on the importance of muscle and why it is just absolutely so vital. I did not realize that it was our largest endocrine organ. And that means that it is full of veins and arteries. It is crucial to good health. It turns out that muscles are what help maintain our hormonal balance, is our biggest glucose sink, which means that if you want to keep your blood sugars regulated, you need lots of muscle. If not, your body is going to have to start relying too much on insulin, and we start developing other problems, including type 2 diabetes, because we become insulin resistant, and we need muscle in order to help regulate this. Not only that, it goes beyond just the overall problem of frailty. See, too many people, as they get older, it is going, and you start becoming frail, you become less certain on your feet. It results in hip fractures, which will often result in death within a few years to most people. And frankly, we need some reserve. You get into an accident, you have a problem, traumas happen, etc., and you need to have some muscle in reserve built up to help you get through those particular instances. And when you don't have it, you're in deep trouble. So there's a lot of good reasons for it, and if you want to avoid being reliant on other people, and you do not want to spend your final years in a diaper sitting in your own poo, then you really want to overcome frailty, and you want to be as mobile as you can. That requires muscle and strength. And my goals are rather simple. I just want to have as much muscle as I possibly can, be as strong as I possibly can, and not hurt myself. So, I've work at this. And the cool thing about it is that it doesn't require as much effort as you might think. 3 15-minute sessions a week is usually all I do, and that works as far as continuing to build up strength. And if you don't work to build up muscle and you're over 60 like I am, you're going to lose about 3% of your muscle per year. And if you have not built up a big reserve of it in your 20s, it's going to come back and haunt you, because you're going to start losing muscle mass from somewhere in your 30s and 40s, and it's just going to increase exponentially as you go along. And muscle is not only important to help avoid insulin resistance, but it also is curative in many ways for many diseases. It is particularly protective against different cancers. It helps build up your immune system to help you overcome other diseases. So, there's a whole host of different reasons for wanting to have muscle and why you need it in order to thrive at life. But why don't we teach more about it? Well, frankly, it is amazing to me how little doctors know about it, and the importance of resistance training in particular, because the only thing that most doctors know is walking and cardiovascular exercise. Cardio is king as far as most people are concerned. And when I had my heart attack, they wanted me to go to the cardio rehabilitation wing. And I went over there to visit, and they've got nothing but treadmills. And I'm like, where are the weights? And they don't have any. And that's really particularly frustrating, because in 2023, Sports Medicine did a real in-depth article that showed that even light weightlifting, relatively light resistance training, was far more protective against cardiovascular events than cardio training. And when I tried to kind of explain that to the people that were over there, they kind of like, wow, we didn't know that. And and these guys are supposed to be the experts. But the only thing that most people know is the only muscle that you need to fix and to make stronger is your heart muscle, and the way you do that's through cardio training, and that's not true. You actually build up a lot of strong heart muscles through resistance training. And muscles not only help build the heart and make it stronger through resistance training, but the muscle itself helps get blood circulating. It aids in the overall circulatory system. So the stronger your muscles are, the better, less work your heart has to do, which makes it stronger in the long run too. So there's a whole host of different reasons why you want to be engaged in resistance training. And I'll include links to the 2 videos that I did recently on how to do, my particular version of resistance training. I showed, upper body and lower body workouts. And the big question though is, why do so few people engage in resistance training? And when you look at the statistics, it's really kind of scary how few people engage in any type of regular resistance training. And I think part of it is because we think we, are going to become gym bros. In order to do resistance training, you have to join a gym and you've got to look like one of those supermodels. And frankly, that's a bad thing, as far as the ideal is concerned. I mean, you can take a look at me. I am not a gym bro. I am not genetically gifted in any way, shape, manner, or form where I'm going to build copious quantities of muscles and become a bodybuilder anytime soon. I mean, bodybuilders as a group are really kind of like NFL players or people in the NBA or any professional sports person. They are genetic freaks. In order to build muscle at that type of competitive level, you really just have to have a lot of fortuitous accidents. In order to become ripped, you've just got to have the right type of metabolism. The muscles need to attach in the correct way, and and it's not typical. But anybody can build muscle and strength just by doing some sort of resistance training. It may not be, where you get the visible muscles. May not get six-pack abs, but when you've got that muscle in reserve, you are going to be better able to withstand disease, probably be able to withstand cancers, etc. And when life's trauma comes around, you're going to be able to handle that better too. So there's a lot of good reasons why you want that muscle in reserve. And it is a powerful organ that you can work on. And frankly, it just requires so little work to make it stronger and bigger, to keep you from losing it, that it's almost ridiculous. And I do not know for the life of me why doctors, when they're in medical school, cannot get just basic classes on resistance training. And you don't have to go off and join a gym. You don't have to buy a bunch of gear. You don't have to have weights at home or anything like that. You can use body weight. I mean, when you start off, you may be doing wall push-ups, where you're leaning up against the wall and just pushing up against it. And the cool thing about it is, when you begin, you're actually going to build up the most muscle you're going to get, build it up faster. So you're going to get your best results early on. And it just keeps getting better as you go through this process, and you will notice results pretty darn quickly. So please do not feel like you have to watch a video like this and go, okay, I'm going to go off and do 100 push-ups. That's not how it starts. I mean, you just start where you are and you just build up a little bit more resistance. And resistance needs to be progressive, where you get, work at it until when you start doing wall push-ups, you do them until that becomes easier, then you progress to the next level. And you keep on going and you just make it a little bit harder over time, and you're going to continue to build more muscle and more strength. And that's what you need. That's all you need. And if you can just stop the loss of muscle and make yourself a little bit stronger over time, you're going to be able to withstand diseases, probably prevent other ones. And it'll be stuff that you may not ever know that you did it, but statistically, you keep seeing the results time and time again. So take a look at this study, this article on why muscle is just so darn important. I will include a link to the one on how little stimulus it takes to create strong cardiovascular systems. And if you want to know what I do, I've included a couple of links to a couple of my videos on just doing resistance training. And frankly, you can watch mine and you realize, boy, you don't have to be that coordinated. You don't have to be in that great a shape. It just takes, literally 15 minutes a couple times a week, and you can really make yourself significantly stronger and build up more muscle over time. And this isn't a YouTube influencer type thing where you have to get ripped and become a gym bro in order to be healthier. And that's all we're trying to do, is just in this fight for our health. We are all alone, but we can all be alone in this together. And together we can make ourselves stronger, because unfortunately when you look at most people, the average person, average person over 60 is going to lose 3% of their muscle every single year, but you don't have to be average. And you can reverse that trend by just engaging in a little bit of resistance training. But don't count on your doctor to tell you, because they don't know it. But frankly, it is more powerful than anything they have in their prescription pad, if you would just take a few minutes each week. And don't think you're going to build up muscle by walking. I have nothing against doing activity, walking, gardening, doing that type of stuff, but you need to throw in the resistance training in order to stop sarcopenia, the loss of muscle that's going to happen to all of us unless we do something about it. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded folks. I will talk to you again soon.